Yo, welcome back to another episode of Wake Up with Wops. It's that weekend review. I got a bunch of stocks for you guys to get ready for that Monday market open. And then I'm also going to review my portfolio. Starting off with Amazon, I got stopped out of Amazon. I lowered my stop loss below the 200-day SMA, this red line you see here. It bounced off my stop loss a little bit down here around 212 and then ended the day a little bit higher, closed around 213. It's all good. I didn't like the stock anymore after a while. Look at this bad. It was doing well, remounted the three moving averages, and then the bad news, the China tariff news, started going down to the 200-day average. I wasn't liking it. If it remounts around 217, 218, these two averages you see here, the blue line and the pink line, then maybe we could re-enter. We also have earnings in 12 days, so maybe I'll just wait for earnings and see how it reacts off of that. We still love Amazon as a stock in general. If we zoom out, it's still in a nice upward trend, just bouncing off that 200-day at the moment. Now looking at the S&P 500, above the 50-day moving average, this yellow line we see here, consolidating here. I think what we're going to see now is kind of like what we saw over here around August and September. This consolidation area, I think, is going to happen right here. So who knows how long this could last. It could last 10 days, 20 days. Here it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around 20, 18 days here that it consolidated or going and went up and down in this range. I can see the same thing happening here before we either break out or we break down. But I'm thinking we're going to break out because we are still in a nice upward trend. Interest rates are still going to get cut, so I don't see why we won't continue going up. Looking at the QQQ, same thing. You see here consolidated in that range that we have here. Then it broke out with this trend line right here. Kind of the same thing that's going to probably happen here. It's not going to be a quick reversal after that tariff news, but it's not going to go like a V-shaped recovery. It's going to take time. People are scared. The index right now is at extreme fear. So people are fearful, but right now it's nothing to be really fearful for, still above our key moving averages. RSP is the equal weighted S&P 500, still above this zone here. So as long as it keeps this zone of support, previous breakout resistance level, broke out here, consolidated here, and now it's kind of testing here support. Above this, I think we're looking good. QQEW, this is the equal weighted for the QQQ. Same thing here, kind of consolidating in the zone. It has a little consolidation area here that it could even go lower, and then we have the 50-day average around 138, so maybe it tests that and then continues going up. So right now I see just in the indexes, what I'm seeing is just consolidation ranges forming about. IWM, let's zoom out real quick and show you guys that it's breaking out of like a base, out of a multi-year base right here. Breaking out, these are our momentum stocks, our mid caps and small cap stocks. Didn't do too well the past 2 days. That's why a lot of my stocks have been red on my watch list. But as long as it continues testing this and it will finally break out of this base and finally have a nice, very, very strong run to continue going up. And that's what we're going to see for our bull market. Now let's look over some stocks that you guys got to watch for this next week. Maybe potential entries, and then I'll go over my portfolio, my positions at the end of the video. So starting off with Roblox, it keeps rejecting this all-time high here. You can see when we zoom in, keeps rejecting that area and pulling back. Right now, it rejected the area a couple days ago, and it pulled back now to our 9 EMA and 20 SMA. If it shows support on Monday, maybe it could be a good enter to finally anticipate a breakout of this. The more times it tests this, then more likely it will eventually break out or break down, but I don't think it's going to break down. This is one of our momentum stocks we were talking about earlier in the IWM. So if IWM keeps running, I'm pretty sure Roblox is going to rip. So far, we talk about it a lot since this bounce off the 50 SMA. It's keeping that yellow line, that 50-day average, as support right now. So we're going to continue watching that. ELF, same thing, above the 50-day average and also above the 9-day and 20-day. Not the best looking candles the past couple of days, but still above the key moving averages. SGML, this is a non-energy lithium play, kind of breaking out of this bottom that I saw, and it did break out, rejected off the 200-day SMA, which we knew was going to be the next resistance, pulling back and now holding the 50-day average. I really like it because if it held support here, then I could probably re-enter. It reminds me a lot of Labu, which is a stock we were into earlier. It's an ETF that follows the biotech industries. You can see here kind of the same little formation that is happening with SGML. It broke out and then it pulled back to the 50-day average and kind of just held this yellow line and then eventually broke out. We exited at the 200-day average, the red line, as we thought it was going to be resistance, and then it continued ripping as because it kept breaking out of long-term ranges. So I see the same thing with SGML. Look, when I zoom out, you see, breaking out of long-term ranges, I can see that really breaking off. So I really have my eye on this, maybe for a longer term play, because I think it has potential. And it reminds me of Labu. Shopify, if we zoom out, reaching all-time highs, you can see here. This line is the all-time high. If you zoom in, right above the short-term moving averages, or short-term trends. So it's showing that it's probably going to continue going up and at least hit this right line. So you could enter into a trade and target that. And then if you're bullish on Shopify, maybe just continue holding, because if it breaks out of that, it's going to continue running. Apple, we got stopped out of Apple because we thought we were going to break out of this flag. We did a very little bit, but then it just rounded about. Now it's rounding back above the 9 EMA. It's looking pretty good. We have earnings in 12 days as well. Same day as Amazon, I believe. But it's looking good. Maybe a pre-earning trade. Enter on Monday depending on how it reacts, as long as it keeps this support above the 9 EMA. And then maybe it runs up to this and then rejects, or continues and breaks that all-time high right before earnings. PanW, using this all-time high breakout as support right now. I would like to see it remount a little bit more around like 210, 211, and they could probably enter that because it's gonna have room to run after breaking out of this multi-month, maybe year-long range. Celsius has been really hot. You can see here on the run, on the move to all-time highs above, which is around like $99, $98. Right now we're at 64, so we have room to run. You can see here, I feel like it's a little extended here. We noticed it here off the bounce off the 50 SMA. Look at that strong reaction. Now it looks a little extended. I'll probably wait for maybe a little bit of a pullback, but it definitely has room to run. If you enter here, just have a very loose stop, because then it could have these long couple days where it just pulls back. CRDO, we mentioned here when it was remounting the 9-day moving average, but then it rejected off the 20-day average and then it went deeper to the 50-day average. And now it's looking pretty good. Look at this reaction at the yellow line. Reminds me a lot of Celsius. Let's go back. You see here, strong reaction at that yellow line, that 50-day average. And it had a good run. Same thing that's happening here. Most likely enter on Monday, and then you could probably ride it to the top. Nvidia, looking like it's consolidating in this range right here. It did break out of that range and had a nice run, but it's pulled back now. We're going to probably see a little bit more consolidation, and then if it breaks out again and shows that as support, that could be a good enter for Nvidia to continue running. MU, breaking out of this kind of flag here, you can see here, watch. Breaking out this little diagonal type flag, you could say, flag. Above it now, 9 EMA is curling up. It's going to catch up to the price. Might consolidate a little bit more and break out. MU's been looking really good lately. AMD, you guys know we love AMD. Now above all-time highs and consolidating above that area. It's looking good. If it breaks out of this range right here, then it could probably be a good enter when it breaks out this consolidation range above the all-time highs. PLTR, consolidating above the 50-day average. I want to show you guys this concept right here. So Ferrari race oversold. We already talked about this before in my oversold video and how to notice oversold stocks. Go check that out. I think it's a good video. So we notice here the Bollinger Bands, our lower Bollinger Band has gotten pierced, and there was kind of like a reversion candle right here with this green candle on the daily. You could have entered on the next day, put your stop loss under the low of that candle, and then target the top of this, or even maybe target to the 9 EMA, because that's going to be your next resistance around 412. And right now this little trade is playing out. I'm not in it. It's a little trade idea I shared with X. Go follow me if you don't. X is wake up at WAP, or sorry, my X is wake up with WAPs. Go follow me. You know how it is. I be doing trade ideas and I keep you guys updated with my portfolio. Now, A-Lab is another one. It's piercing the lower Bollinger Band. On top of that, if you look at the stochastics, it's at 6. Very, very extremely oversold. So kind of the same thing we talked about race on Ferrari. You could have enter on Monday depending how it opens on Monday. If it's a little bit up, it's okay. This is where you put the stop loss under the last candle on Friday, and then target the 9 EMA around 181, 182. You play that little reversion. And if you're bullish on A-Lab, you could just get it at a really good bargain price, a really good steal here, and then continue holding maybe to the top of the range, or longer term if you're really, really bullish. But this is that counter trend that oversold under piercing the Bollinger Band, low stochastics. It's a reversal. We're playing the reversal. Urban, pretty hot stock. Been taking a beating lately. This is Urban Outfitters. Same thing, guys. Look, hammer candle, piercing the lower Bollinger Band. Stochastics are low. You could enter, put your stop loss under this candle. Target maybe the 50-day average here around 72 bucks. You know how it is. It's a pretty good counter trend right there. I like those. I wanted to share it with you guys. Now looking at coin. We talked about this is another trade idea I shared with X on X. Pulling back now after it hit the take profit 1, and now it's showing strong support here at that 50-day average. You could probably enter, have a loose stop loss because this stock is volatile, and then continue riding this wave up. Could probably take profits again around TP1 or hold the longer term to take profits too. Toll Brothers home building, remounting, coming out of this little, maybe this little deviation, this little bottom here above the 90 EMA. You could enter anticipating it remounts the 50-day average and then continue going higher. We like Toll Brothers. We've been in a trade earlier in the year. It was a successful trade. Home Depot, kind of the same thing, same setup. Bounce off the 200-day average, a little deeper of a pullback, and then now it's remounting the 9 EMA. Can enter anticipating it continues going higher, and actually maybe a longer risk reward play if you're willing to hold to the top and you're bullish on Home Depot and home building in general. Lastly, let's go over open. This is Opendoor. It's been on a hot run. A lot of day trading friends that I have in my group chats, they were trading this Opendoor, and I felt left out. But now it might be a good opportunity for us swing traders if it holds this as support, this 50-day average around 650. Maybe it pulls back a little bit more, and then it finds support there. That would be a beauty, because then we could probably enter that. Because I feel like when the bull market is back on and everybody is getting greed again instead of being fearful, this is gonna run. Now going over my positions. Lemonade, we're so close to getting stopped out. If it goes below 47 to like 46 bucks, I am out of this trade. Right now, it's so volatile. I don't like the setup anymore, but I'm just respecting my stop loss. And once it hits that, it's showing it right now. It's respecting it, but any day now, it's going to stop me out. I'll keep you guys updated. Microsoft above the 50-day. Looking kind of congested here, but nothing to worry about as long as it holds this as support around 510, 512. XPRO broke out of this little flag and now it's pulling back. As long as it's above the 50-day average, this yellow line, we're looking good. We're looking pretty bullish. Kind of breaking out of a long-term range anyways. So we're going to hold this a little bit longer and wait for that nice run. Meta having trouble breaking this 9 EMA. It did when we entered it, remounted the 9 EMA. Then it started pulling back. Now we're waiting for it to happen again around 717, maybe 727 area. That little range, it needs to remount. Oracle, we were up for a day. We entered around 309, then we were down, and now we're up. Very volatile stock right now. We're lower than entry, but we have a loose stop on this because we knew it was volatile, and plus the market in general, the VIX has been going crazy. So loose stop on this. We're gonna continue monitoring Oracle. I like this company anyway, so we're gonna see what's up with that. And then ANET, we are still above entry, above the 50-day average, this yellow line. So as long as we keep that as support, I'm liking this entry. We're going to continue holding for the top of the range where I have my target price. And that's it, guys. A little longer video today. Skip through the parts you guys want. New stocks for the week. Look them up. Put them on your watch list. Update on my portfolio. Little market analysis looking at the SPY QQQ. Peace.